Welcome back to 5 Acre Farms. I'm Luke.
I'm Caitlin.
And tomorrow's auction day. So we need to offload quite a few birds because I'm tired of feeding them. So I got the trailer loaded up behind us. We have one of our big rabbit cages that we're going to put the sex links in, the roosters. And then I think we're going to take 5 of our black Swedish drakes if we can catch them, and then 5 of the white ducks that we're not going to use for breeding. And then we have a quail cage on the back side. We're going to take as many as we can fit in there. We fill that up, which it can fit 10 to a slot, and I think there's 7
or 8
or so
1,
slots,
2.
which will hold roughly 70 quail.
7.
But we're going to go through all of our quail, sex them all, and get rid of all the males that we don't need, keep back the females, and then we're going to replace our breeders that we've been breeding from for the last 6 months. So we're just going to fill up the quail tower in the brooder room and have that ready to go, because everything we have is pretty much laying right now. So they're all old enough to lay, they're all young. We're going to replace everything in there, get our male to female ratio right, get rid of all the other quail we don't need. No sense feeding them if we're not hatching from them right now. So, and then I think we're going to take 10 straw bales too, because as we get closer to winter, straw bales are becoming more and more of a hot commodity at the auction. So I think that's all we're taking, which will pretty much fill up this trailer. After we drop birds off in the morning, we're going to run to Home Depot, get all the material to fix the barn from the storm. So next video will probably be us putting a big old band-aid.
Big band-aid.
Big band-aid on the barn. So, all right, let's go catch a bunch of birds. Blinded by the light. Whew. Even closer to this light. So it's tough to tell, but this is the barn and Caitlin's white face. So what we usually do is run all the ducks from the pond, bring them down, and then get them into the barn or into the silo, and then I go in there with my headlamp and pick out the ones I want, males usually. Then I hand a couple at a time through the door, and then Caitlin will put them in the cage. So it's not as fun as it sounds. We got all the blue Swedish out, so now all we have left are the black Swedish and these white mixed ducks. So I'm going to start picking off males, and then pretty much at least 5 of the white ducks. We ended up catching 2 of the white ones that we know for sure are males, and then
7 black, or 8.
8 black drakes, Swedish black drakes, black Swedish drakes.
Yep.
So take 10 of them to the auction, less mouths to feed. We still kept several blue Swedish drakes, so when we breed next spring, we'll still be able to have some drakes.
Yep.
So let's go get some sex links. Time to sort off all the quail. So this top row has been our breeders the last 6 months, and since I have so many quail, it's just time to replace them. They can keep laying eggs for really up to like 2 years. The males you need to switch out every 9 months, 9 to 11 months. You can go a little longer than that, but since I have access to plenty of quail, it's just easier for me to replace them every 6 months. That way the people that are buying them at the auction are still getting birds that have life left in them. That way I'm not selling somebody 4-year-old birds that are on their way out. So we're just going to go ahead and get rid of all the birds on the top row, which have been my breeders, and then we're going to go through these bottom 3 rows, which I've just been throwing in there to grow out, but they're just starting to lay, so it's time to sort them out. We're going to put 15 females and 3 or 4 males per level. So put you back in time. Well, we have the quail tower back to organized. There's 15 females and 4 males. Usually it's a 5 to 1, but just in case one of the males gets picked on and doesn't do any breeding, we still have plenty of males. And then, so we have 15 and 4, 15 and 4, 15 and 4, and then 7 females on the bottom and 2 males. So we still have 1 rabbit hutch outside that we did not sort because they weren't old enough to tell male from female. So we'll have to wait till next auction. They should be about 6 weeks old. So, and we just moved some little quail over to the tower brooder down on the end. I think there's about 10 of them. Those are the ones we hatched in the Brisnia incubator. So, where's my OGs at that remember the wobble light? Give it a thumbs up if you remember the wobble light. But we got the quail cage. We got 70 quail. Let me turn my light on here. So there's 10 per cage. So that'll give us a good number. 70 Coturnix. I think we're going to take the rest of our button quail too. So let's get the little button quail caught. I think we're just going to take all of them. I'll get some more next spring when it gets close to hatching time or something like that. So we're going to take all these little button quail. They've been laying good. Guess we could keep the eggs and put them in the incubator. Not so much. They're cute little birds, just not something we want to deal with. So probably like if we were shipping hatching eggs, then a lot of people would want them. But locally here, they only bring a few bucks at the auction. They're just a hard sell. Can't really eat them. The eggs are tiny. At least with the Coturnix, you can eat the males, and they make enough eggs to like make a meal. So, all right, we've already got quail on the loose. And they're so dang flighty, which is another reason to get rid of them. Well, we got the whole trailer loaded up. We got 10 straw bales, 8 millifleurs, which I think are roosters. All these dang male Coturnix quail. Now whenever we're in the brooder room, you guys can actually hear us talk.
Yeah.
Because of that reason.
So that's pretty much all males, and there's 70 of them.
There's almost 70 males in there. And then we have the sex lynx roosters, and then 10 ducks, and the button quail.
2 pheasants.
And 2 pheasants, 2 yellow golden pheasants. So it's gonna be a pretty good load. We're gonna try to get out of here early in the morning so we can be close to the beginning of the auction when our stuff sells, and then hopefully get back at a decent time tomorrow. So we'll see you guys in the morning.
Their food and their water.
Well, we got all the chickens dropped off at the auction, and we did that this morning. Then we ran into this big city and had to spend
Little big city.
an hour at Hobby Lobby.
We didn't spend an hour. It was like not even 30 minutes.
It felt like 2 hours looking at the same thing over and over again. Anyway,
I told him I don't get to go to the big towns very often, so when I go, I like to go to Hobby Lobby. And he goes, yeah, it shows that you don't go to town very often.
Yeah.
That's rude.
Anyway, went to Hobby Lobby, had lunch with Jorge, with Napa Bees, and then ran over to Home Depot and got
A Band-Aid.
$500 worth of a Band-Aid to fix the barn, which you'll probably see in the next couple videos. And Caitlin bought some plants. These are actually alive, so that's nice.
It's good for the bees.
They weren't on sale though. But
a little bit.
right now, hit up a little coffee shop.
Rendezvous.
I don't know if you can see it over there. Get my face out of the way. Yeah. Little coffee shop.
That's
and
my favorite.
it's kind of off the highway here, but we're gonna make it back over to the auction, get everything watered and fed, and I'll show you guys some of the things that checked in. I'm afraid there's some things there that are gonna make me spend some money, so we'll see what we get into.
What the heck is that?
That's a limousine, if I tell you. Anyway, there's a Caitlin's over here. Squirrel! Can't have nice things. All right, we'll go see you at the auction house. Hey, stop trying to eat me. We need a friend for Steve.
Yeah. Maybe Steve would get along great.
Would you like to be Steve's buddy? Yeah, you be Steve's friend? Yeah. I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for these. These are some... That 3T is the same company that makes that 2-inch netting over my big pen. And there's enough of these, which I like these for the new breeder pens.
And we can get a stock tank pool.
And Caitlin wants a stock tank swimming pool. Even comes with a life jacket for you.
Oh, I have that stuff. Pool blaster. It's great.
We're just set, aren't we?
Yeah. We're gonna get this. We bought a trailer for a reason.
There's some hay here too. Those are our straw bales there. Looks like the only straw here, which is nice. And then a whole lot of other junk. You just never know what's going to show up here. Part of a brooder, cages, camouflage, shipping crates, disassembled, nice rough cut slabs.
Make great mantle.
Yeah. big rabbit cages. Those are Jorge's. He brought some wheat. Build a boat kit, minus the boat. Nice gin pole. I use mine all the time. Little brooder plates. Little pop-up deer blind. Alright, you got a game plan over here?
Yeah. I got my notes in my phone, so I know what I'm bidding on. And how much.
How much? Coated chicken wire. Cheap feeders. Big feeders. Smaller feeders. Water system we may or may not need in the future. Stock tank.
Now 6 down on 6 big, 5 down on 6, with 6 down on 5 and 6, so $5.21.
You bet. Nice feeders there. Take a look there. Anyone you want. Here we go. Who gets $25 a piece? At 25 here now, $30 down. I'm $25 down, 30. At $25 down, 30. We're going up. 25, 30. I'm $30 down, 25 now, $35 down, 35 now, 40. At $40 down, 40. At $40 down, $45 down, 45. I have 40 in the back. Gonna be $45 down, 45. At 42, could he help you? At 42, could you better go 42 and a half here down, but about 42.50.
115 back. Well, there's 13 of them, I believe. So on pigs right there, left, well, $2 in, $2 on, $3, $2 on, $3, it's $3 on, right there, $2 on, got 2, not 3, $2 on, $3, $3 on, $3, it's $3 on, right there, $2 on, $3, it's $2 on, $3, $3 on, $4 on, $5, it's $4 on, $5 right there, $4 on, $5, $4 on, $5, it's $4 on, $5, $4 on, $5, so $4, $158, $4, $158 times 13. They're going to get away if you get to it. 13 of them. I've got yellow golden pheasant. 25, 25, 25, 30, 30 on 5, 35, 40, 40, 25, 40, 40 on 5, 45, 40 on 5, 40 on 5, 45, 40 on 5, 45, 40 on 5, 50, 45 on 50, 45 on 47, 47, 45 on 7, 50 bucks, 50 on 50, 50 on 50, 50 on 50, 50 on 5, 50 on 50, 50 on 5, 47 on 50. So 47 on 60. $5 on Swedish ducks, $5 there. $6 on 6, $6 on 7, $6 on 7. It's $7 on Swedish ducks, $7. $6 on 7. It's $6 on 7, $6 on 7, $6 on 7. It's $7 on 6, $7 on 7, $7 on 6, $6 on 7, $6 on 5, $6. It's $6 on 7. So $6 on, so $5 there. It's $6 on 5 2. It's $6 on 5 6. $6 on 5 6. It's $6 on $2. $2 on 2. It's $2 on 5 4 on 5 So $4 the number. 149.
I got 2 milk cows, brown Swissers. Hey, both cows right there, 300 feet a quarter. They're 300 line right there, quarter milk there, 300 down, quarter line right there. $100, 100 pound. 800 bucks, 100 pound of milk there, 100 milk there, 100 pound of milk there, 1 pound. 100 pound of milk there, 1 pound of line right there, 100 pound of milk there, 20. Big one, 20, 30, 130 milk there, 175, 175 milk there, 175 milk there, 175, not 200 line right there, 2, 2, 2 and a quarter, half pound milk there, 2 pound line right there, 75 and a 3, 300 line right there, 4, 3 pound milk there, 3 pound, 75 milk there, 375 line right there, 375 milk there, 375, 300 milk there, 75 line right there, 300 milk there, 75, 300 milk there, 75, 300 milk there, now 75, so 350. Fire number 301, you want to vote? Times 2.
Good morning. We made it back from the auction last night after dark, so figured I'd finish this in the morning. Got everything loaded up. It was a pretty good auction. There was a lot of stuff consigned and not a ton of buyers, which Labor Day weekend, not a huge shocker, but also late in the summer, a lot of people are offloading birds they don't need, they don't want to take into winter, and so it tends to be a flooded market of really all sorts of stuff. But thought I'd show you what we bought and then kind of talk about prices, what stuff went for, and go from there. But I bought this giant rabbit cage that I was kind of trying to bid it up because it was Jorge's, but I only paid 45 bucks for it, so pretty good deal. I'm gonna try to make it to where it can be used for raising quail outside. I don't do rabbits, so. But I bought all the feeders, all the 40-gallon feeders. So these are the feeders I was going to buy anyway for the new breeder pens. And I bought one of these, and it's out at the Eggmobile, and I think it was 60 or over $60. That's what I paid new for them. These are used but still in really good shape, and I paid 40 bucks a piece for them. So when you buy, what I buy, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of them, paid 40 bucks a piece. So I saved $20 a piece. So I really saved about $200 buying those used. And I think those were the 2 big purchases of mine. Oh no, back of the truck. I bought a bunch of the crates. I don't need these, but they were really cheap. They brought $9 a piece. So they're perfect for hauling half-grown birds in, bantams in, quail. They just got a flap door on them that gravity's down. So they'll be pretty handy, or I'll just resell them. And then Caitlin's plants over there that she bought at Home Depot. And then all the cages I took to sell birds in. Then all the wood for the new barn that we're going to be working on all weekend. New barn. Not the new barn, the old barn. But I need to, we're fixing this weekend. So that'll be next video. So stay tuned. But Caitlin bought some chicks, so let's run into here and see what she bought. Just when we thought we were done raising chicks in the brooder. Caitlin picked up whatever 30 Easter eggers. So we know the person that brought these. So why we needed Easter eggers, I don't know. But they sell really well, so in the spring, when these guys are close to laying, we'll have Easter eggers to sell. But that's all we got at the auction. Got rid of a bunch of quail, got rid of a bunch of roosters, got rid of a bunch of drakes, ducks, and I guess I'll let me put you guys on the tripod and I'll go through the list of what my stuff sold for and what all the other stuff sold for, really. Man, what a beautiful day. Beautiful week, I think. Overcast, 60s and 70s. Fall is here, I think. So, the stuff I took, the 10 straw bales that I took, they only brought $4 a piece, which somebody got a really good deal on. Last month they brought whatever, $7 or $8, $5 to $7. So I really thought getting closer to fall, cooler weather, but they only brought $4, which is kind of a shame. I'm not a guy that no-sales stuff, so if I take it, it sells. So I could have no-sailed them, but not going to. I took some little millies, roosters, 8 of them. They only brought $1 a piece, which is pretty common. 13 button quail. They brought $4 a piece. The 2 yellow golden pheasants, they brought $47.50 a piece. The ducks, they all brought $6 a piece, which really isn't bad because a couple months ago they were bringing $1 a piece. So I'll take $6 a piece on drake ducks. The sex link roosters, they brought anywhere from $2 to to $4 to $4 to $3.50 to $3. When you add all that stuff, all that up, I mean, that was still well over $150 for all those little, for 80 of those. What is it? I bet I made $200 on the little barred rock or sex link roosters. That probably covered their feed. I don't know if there's a whole lot of profit in there, but it is what it is. The Coturnix quail, all the male Coturnix quail, 20 of them brought $1.75 a piece, and I think the rest of them brought $1.25 or $1.50 a piece. I don't know if I made money on any of that, but anyways. But we bought the Easter egger chicks for $2 a piece, 30 of them. Again, these wooden crates, $9 a piece. This obnoxiously large rabbit cage for $45, and then all those 10 little giant feeders for $40 a piece. So there was a lot of deals to be had yesterday. I'm not in the need to have a bunch of more birds. I still have, I don't know, well over 1,000, and I'm trying to get some more red hens, laying hens, to get me to winter. We go through a lot of eggs during hunting season with our business, with our pheasant hunting business, so it'd be nice to have a couple hundred laying hens going into hunting season. And my wholesale buyer, he may or may not need some more eggs in the next couple weeks, so I'm trying to get a hold of some more red hens. Other than that, laying hen prices yesterday were down, I guess. They'd go anywhere from $8 to $20 depending on the breed. A lot of them in that 10 to 15 range, which is in the spring, you know, they're bringing $60 to $80 a piece, and in the fall they're bringing $9 to $20 a piece, which is crazy. Now's the time to be buying chickens. I know you don't want to take them through the winter. You want your eggs in the spring. Everybody wants chicks in the spring, or chickens in the spring, right after the winter, but man, you're gonna overpay for them. I mean, a laying hen's still worth $20 to $30, so you can get the bargains in the fall, though. The closer we get to winter, the cheaper they're going to get. Everybody's going to be offloading stuff they don't want to feed through the winter. So you can find some really good deals. Ducks were averaging that $2 to $10. I didn't see any peacocks. Quail were just bringing nothing. What else was there? Yellow golden and red golden pheasants were all bringing $40 to $60 depending on what they were, which is down a little bit. They usually bring $60 to $70, sometimes up to $100. There were some geese. They brought a few dollars a piece. I mean, a few, I say $20 to $40 depending on the breed. Guineas, quite a few guineas, still in that $7 to $15 range for full-grown guineas. There wasn't very many chicks. A lot of people quit hatching chicks because hardly anybody wants chicks. Same with hatching eggs. Very few people want hatching eggs this time of year because they don't want to take chicks into the winter. There's a lot of good outside stuff. I really wanted to buy those big 120 pound feeders, but they brought 120 a piece, which they're brand new for 160. If you buy them 2 at a time or 5 at a time, they even got down to like 130 a piece or 140 a piece if you bought 5 at a time. And I was gonna buy all 5 of them that they had, but they brought $120 a piece. So at that point, I might as well just buy them new. I mean, it was still a good deal to whoever bought them. Not a good deal, just a deal. But there was some chicken wire. I bid on some of that coated chicken wire. Jordan ended up buying it, and that was a good deal. I stopped at $100. It went for $120 or whatever. There's just a lot of junk out there. This other cage, George had another cage like this outside selling. This one was inside with rabbits in it. The rabbits didn't bring hardly anything and nobody was paying attention. And the cage sold too. But he had one just like this outside. It brought $90. So, but I didn't stick around for a ton of the outside stuff. The goats were bringing 20 to 200 depending on what goat it was. The little baby cows, they brought 300 a piece. They were brown Swiss bulls, so I mean they're gonna be bottle babies. They're 300. I don't know if that was a good deal. It was a good deal for somebody. I didn't want to spend 300. I really need to set up a spot here just in case I buy something like that. But I just don't want to bottle feed a cow 2-3 times a day. So anyway, they're cute, but that's about it. Anyway, hope that gave you an insight a little on the chicken auction. Hope you guys enjoy the chicken auction. And we got projects coming up. We're gonna work on this barn right here all weekend, putting a big band-aid on it. Hopefully get us through till next year. Hopefully we can replace it next year. But other than that, we got Jorge coming out sometime here in the next week or so. And then dove season starts Monday, a couple days away. By the time you're watching this video on Monday, which is the opening day of dove season, which I got guys on coming to hunt Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then I think I have a couple days off, and then I have clients Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday that following week. And then, yeah. Anyway, lots of dove hunting coming. Finally cool weather. It's just fall is here. Time to start getting ready for deer season, teal season, pheasant season's coming up, and it'll be here before no time. So anyway, we love you guys. Don't haggle with your egg supplier. Buy your chicks local. We'll see you guys on the next one.